guys, my name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. It's been actually longer than a minute. It's been way too long. I have not recorded anything whatsoever, and this is my first time like really sitting down and recording. Actually, that's not true. It wasn't like super long ago that I recorded something, but I never ended up editing it and uploading it, so it doesn't count. But I haven't done like a really like full-on like sit-down video. My hair is a different color, my background is different, things have changed. But yeah, and I've also really been like off my reading game, which is very sad, but that's changing because I started to get a little bit more into books. I was being very hard on myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was being very hard on myself, and I was like, you know what? We're not gonna be an audiobook girly. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna sit down and read a book. And if we can't sit down and read a book, we're just not gonna read it. And that's a little unnecessary. It's like super unnecessary actually, because I feel like the audiobooks are just helpful. Like, especially when I'm sitting down at work and I'm, you know, I get to listen to podcasts or music or whatever. So why not sit down and hear a book? Like, duh. I don't even know. I just thought it was like a cheating way out of saying that I read a book. I don't know. Whatever. I hadn't been doing that, but then I started doing that. So that's how I finally racked up a few different books that I got to read, and I wanted to go over the books that I really enjoyed and some of the books that I had said at one time that I had started. I finished a series. I finished what is out so far of another series, and I wanted to go over those books with you. So the very first book is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. This book was so good. Okay, it's about Adrian and Vanessa. Vanessa is a YouTuber who thinks that she is ill with a particular illness that has tended to run in her family. She also is taking care of a baby. It was forced on her to have to take care of this baby. She knows nothing about being a mom. She knows nothing about taking care of kids. And so it's kind of thrown her life into a whirlwind because she was like this big traveler and doing all these things. And she meets Adrian, who is a very successful lawyer, and he's also the manager of her apartment building. And so it was very cute. Their meeting was not like super cute, but it was kind of cute, right? Because the baby was crying so much that it was bothering Adrian and his girlfriend from trying to sleep. And so he goes over there, and then he ends up like taking care of the baby while Vanessa goes and like takes a shower and like has 10 seconds to herself. And so that's kind of how the entire, like, that's how they meet. Because they kind of like knew of each other, but they didn't know each other. And so this book was so good because it deals with someone. Vanessa is so convinced that she has this particular illness and that she is going to die at a young age that she has already prepared all of her funeral expenses. She's prepared she's trying to prepare a place for where the baby's gonna go when she's not there anymore. She's like preparing all these things, and Adrian comes in and like she doesn't want anything to do with him because she's like, no, like I'm not going to pursue anything with somebody knowing that I'm going to pass soon. Okay, Adrian doesn't know that, but then there comes like a mix-up where she thinks that he knows, but then he doesn't really know, and so it's like a whole thing, right? Yeah, so it was really interesting because also you get to see the perspective of like Vanessa's family life and how she's always had to be the very like responsible one. She's had to be the one to pick up her family when they're going through things and she doesn't have anybody to be there for her to do that. And so that's kind of like who Adrian becomes for her. And it's really good. Okay, I honestly love Adrian, love him. I really enjoy Abby Jimenez's books. I've only read 2, and I actually tried to read Part of Your World. I didn't enjoy that one. I got like halfway through it. No, I'm not even halfway through it. I want to say like I almost got halfway, and I was just like grossed out, kind of. Like, to me, okay. What am I trying to say? I think it's different for everybody, right? There's some people who really love spice in books, and then there's some people that don't want to read spice. They want like a no spice book, and I'm kind of like in the middle. Like, if there's a reason for the spice to be in there, okay, but I don't want it excessive. Like, okay, if he had been with me, perfect example, the spice was not a lot. It was not intense. It was not like overly graphic or anything. It was like a medium, right? And there was a point to that spice because it had been bubbling up for so long, and they like really, like, you know, they actually loved each other, and it came out of like, oh my gosh, like, I finally was able to be honest with you. You were finally able to be honest with me. Like, we now like want to connect. It made sense for the spice to be in there, but again, I liked that it wasn't overly like graphic. It wasn't graphic at all, actually. Like, you kind of like get like a starting of where it's going, and then it stops, you know? So that's kind of like how it was, and I liked that aspect, right? But it made sense because of where the story was going, you know? 1,000 Boy Kisses. There's 2 scenes in that book that are spice, but they make sense with the story, and it's almost like you're like, oh, like, I'm glad that they got that moment together. The same with if he had been with me, you're glad that they got that moment there together. Part of Your World. That's not how it was in this book. I did not enjoy that. It was very like, it was very much about the physical attraction and the physical relationship for them. And really, like, even the main character in that book says she wants like a physical relationship, and she doesn't want anything else with this guy, even though this guy, like the guy that, you know, the other main character, the guy main character, he really wants something with her, but he's also fine with it just being like a physical relationship. I didn't like that. I did not like that book at all. I was just like, I'm not getting the romantic connection of like, oh my gosh, like, you're just so beautiful, and oh, I love your heart, and I love who you are, and all this. Like, I wasn't getting that. It was just very much like they just want to go at it all the time, and that's just not the vibe. It's just not the vibe. I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't like Part of Your World. Life's Too Short. I really enjoyed it because I felt like Abby Jimenez really like took her time to build their relationship to where like they truly like trusted each other. They were so like good to each other. They were working together so well. They like really, like, you could see that they were becoming like best friends, and that is what I so enjoyed about this book. I just loved it so much, and it really was kind of giving like Just for the Summer as well. Just the way that like she builds their relationship, And it wasn't all about the physical stuff. Like, it was like actual, like, they were getting to know each other. They were like really falling in love. And that is what I really enjoyed about this book. I also think that this book just gave me such a perspective of like, no, for real, like, life is too short. You know, like, if you want something, you need to go out and just do it, or like make it happen. And if it doesn't happen, move on to a new dream. Like, stop waiting around. You know, like, there's some things that you don't want to go into hastily, because then it can be like a really big mistake. But for a lot of the things that we wait on, we shouldn't be waiting. Like, an outfit that you wanted to wear to a particular occasion, and the occasion just has not come up yet, and that thing is still sitting in your closet with the tags, just wear it already. Put it on and go to Walmart or Hobby Lobby or something. Like, you know, like little stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think it just really gave me like a good perspective on things, and I really enjoyed that book. Like, I felt like I actually got a lot from the book compared to other books where I've just been like, oh, that was a cute little story, and then it's over. But that book like actually got me thinking, which I really enjoyed. Okay, so the next book that I don't actually have physically is Everything We Never Said. I used to have it, but then I got rid of it because I was trying to like clear out my bookshelf, which now is like completely full all over again. I don't know, it's just gonna keep growing. I just need another bookshelf. But so I ended up reading that book, and I just finished it a couple days ago, so I'm still like, I feel like I'm still kind of processing everything that happened in that book. It is a dark romance mystery, kind of. I think that's how they described it. It was very interesting. It was very interesting. It's about Ella, Haley, and Sawyer. Ella and Haley were best friends. Haley, they get into an accident and Haley passes away. So Ella is grieving her best friend. Sawyer was dating Haley. It's a whole thing, right? Ella ends up finding Haley's diary, and Sawyer and Ella end up kind of coming together as friends, but then they end up like realizing that they both liked each other and wanted to be in a relationship. But they're both like freshly dealing with Haley's passing, but Ella finds Haley's diary and she's like, maybe there's something in here about Sawyer that could help me. So she starts reading her diary. Then all this stuff starts unfolding that she had no idea was going on in Haley's life. And there's a lot of twists and turns, right? So many twists and turns that I guessed a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie. I knew that a lot of it was like happening. Like, as soon as like they would say something that was kind of alluding to it, that like it's one of those things where like you hear something and it's like, oh, like you probably should save that for later, and then you remember it and you're like, oh, I know where the story's going, you know? So like it's kind of obvious as it's going on, but I still liked it. Okay. Ooh, the only things that I really didn't love in this book, I'm sorry. First of all, I just didn't like, again, that they started out being like, oh, I really like him. I have kind of always liked him. Oh, I like her. I've kind of always liked her, but we couldn't do anything because of Haley. That just in general seems kind of messed up to me. But also the fact that like their relationship got physical very fast. And not only did it get physical very fast, it was very heavily focused on the physical. And like I just said, I don't typically enjoy that, just because I can't, like, I don't know, like, to me, I can't really ship you with someone if all you can tell me is that he has nice abs. Or I can't ship you with someone if all you can tell me is, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Like, okay, but is she smart? What's something similar that you guys both like? What do you know about her family? What do you know about her? What do you know about him? What do you know about his family? Like, it's stuff like that, that like, when they connect on those things and then it gets physical, it makes more sense. But if it's like strictly just a physical thing from the jump, it's a little much for me. I don't know. I also was like, wait a minute, your best friend just died like 6 months ago and now you two are going at it? Like, what? I was so confused. I was like, hold on a second. Like, I don't know how I feel about this, but okay, whatever, you know, that's your business. And so it kind of gave me the ick for that. But I will say that as the story went on, it kept my interest. So that's what I did like about it. I did like that it kept my interest. There was a lot of things in there, of course, that I didn't agree with, especially like towards the end of the book. I really, really did not agree with one of the endings for one of the characters, and just like something that she was happy about and said that was like really good for her. I really didn't enjoy that. But like I said, it definitely kept my interest and it was very interesting. I would give that book like a 3.5, close to a 4. What I think I have to remember is that it is a dark romance. I don't think I understand the vibe of dark romances yet, because I like the messed up stuff in the romance is like, that's the point, because it's a dark romance. And actually going into the book, I didn't read that. I didn't read that description that it was a dark romance. So then when I was in the book, I was like, what? Like, ew, what's going on? Like, I was a little confused, and it's, yeah, I don't know. So I wouldn't like necessarily recommend that book, but very interesting. Very interesting. So I guess if you like dark romances, you probably will love this book. Yeah, but like I said, I do think that it's like kind of obvious where the story is going, and like when you're reading it, you're kind of like, oh, I think this is gonna happen, and then it happens. Oh, I think this is gonna happen, and then it happens. So like, it's kind of something like that, you know. Also, I will say that I definitely gave Life's Too Short 5 out of 5. Love that book. And Part of Your World, I DNF'd it, so it's kind of, that's a no for me. A series that I finished is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I know I ordered this on Amazon. The hardcover was less expensive than the paperback, so I just bought it, and now they look off, but it's fine. We're not even gonna talk about it. But yeah, so I finished this series and I have to say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think overall though, I give the entire series like a 4. I liked this series. Am I raving about this series? Am I like ready to pick it up again and start reading it? No. I felt like there was times when it would really keep my interest, and it was like, I just want to keep reading. And then there was other times when it like didn't keep my interest at all. And I would like put it down, and then I wouldn't even think about it for like several days. And I don't think that's a good thing, you know, because it wasn't even like, oh, I'm busy and I can't get to the book. It was, I don't really feel like reading it right now. And so, yeah, and it just felt kind of long as well. But I did really enjoy how the story went. I think, to me, they kept the enemies, because it was an enemies to lovers, but they kept the enemies part a little too long. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to like just say you like each other already, because this has been going on for so long. Like, it's just too much. Like, it's too much. And it was a little annoying. But I will say that the third book is probably my favorite, as far as like things finally unfolding and things finally, like, you finally stop hearing about the things that they want to happen or the things that they think are going to happen, and things finally start happening. So I was like very ready to finally read the third book and just get all the answers and see where the story was going to go. But I also have to say that I haven't really thought about it much after. Like literally most of the time when I finish a book, I just keep thinking about it. Continue to think about it, think about it, think about it, think about it. And I can't let it go because I just keep thinking about it. And that's how I know that I really, really enjoyed a book. As much as I enjoyed the book, I'm just like, oh, okay, I finished the series, you know? And it was cool. It was a cool series. I actually really enjoyed a lot of the little quotes and stuff. I enjoyed a lot of the story. It's just not something that I am like raving about, if that makes sense. Definitely a 4, but it was like I could do without it. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. But I really did like it, you know? And it's not like disgusting. It's not dirty. It's not spicy. It's not anything like that. It's very chill, very neutral, I would say. There's some like scenes where like maybe if you're like really strict about spice, I guess could be spicy to you, but they're really not, like, at all. But I liked it. I finished all 3 books. I can't wait to see how this story ends. I can't wait to see how this ends. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like, I'm in agony having to wait, okay? I'm in agony having to wait because I seriously have enjoyed these books so much. I think about them all the time. Like, I just sit there and think about them sometimes. Like, I just think about Kai and how he's so iconic. I love Kai. Like, I want to marry Kai. I will marry Kai. Okay, move over, Peyton. I will marry Kai. Like, I just love him so much. And Peyton, although she can be like slightly annoying, she's definitely a queen. She's so iconic. And yeah, but you know who I could do without? You know who I could do without in the entire story is Kit. He's annoying. He's annoying. There, I said it. He's annoying. Just get rid of him. He was irritating in the first book. He was irritating in the second book. Thankfully, he wasn't mentioned much in Powerful, but even the times he was annoying. So, whatever. But I was so excited when I finally read Reckless. You guys, I was so nervous to read it because somebody that really enjoyed Powerless said that they did not like Reckless, that they were just expecting something different. They didn't like that, you know, they didn't like the way that the author wrote the story. It was a lot of the two main characters having a lot of time together, and she didn't like that, which I guess I understand, but I actually enjoyed that aspect because we kind of got to see, like, what would they really do if they were always had to be together? Because, like, in the first book, they really, they spent time together, but it was not a lot. Like, they had a lot of space, a lot of time apart. But in this book, they are completely stuck together. What I will say, where I agreed with this person, is that the banter and the I hate you, I hate you, I can't stand you, I can't stand you, went on a little too long for me. Like, we know that you guys like each other. You know that you guys like each other. Can we stop with the enemies thing? We know you're not enemies. We know it. We all know it. We all can see it. Can you stop with the enemies thing. Like, that part was a little annoying. It was so irritating. But I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed where they took the story, how they got from where they started in the book to where they were at the end. I knew what was going to happen in the end. Okay? I knew towards the middle, close-ish to the end, I knew what was going to happen. And I didn't read any spoilers, didn't see any spoilers, nothing like that. But I knew what was going to happen because there was only one way that this could happen. So I knew what was going to happen at the end of the book. But I was still like shocked. And I was so like, it got me emotional, you guys. It got me so emotional. And I'm trying so hard to not give a lot away from the book because I don't want to give like spoilers or anything. But dang, like, I'm so interested to see where they're going to take the story. So interested because the cliffhanger that we left off on, I was like, what? Wait, what happened? Like, wait a second. What are you talking about? I just want Kai to have a happy ending. Okay? That's all I care about. I so deeply want my man to have a happy ending that I don't care about anybody else. Okay, the only other person I really cared about having a good ending was Adina, and she had a terrible ending. Okay, terrible ending. That's a spoiler. I'm sorry, but these books did come out like a while back already. Yeah. I just want Kai to have a happy ending. And I just want him to keep going on being iconic, being amazing, loving him, and just being the sarcastic king that he is, the sarcastic, cocky king that he is, okay? I just want him to continue to be that way. So I'm just gonna go over briefly the books that I am currently working on right now. So I am working on this book called The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. This was a book that was a family member sent it to me and really wanted me to read it because they really enjoyed it. So I've been working on that. I've also been working on 1,000 Broken Pieces, which is the second book to 1,000 Boy Kisses. It is about the main character in 1,000 Boy Kisses' sister. What's her name? Samantha. It's about Kale and Samantha, and I have not made it very far in this book. You can see where my bookmark is, but I have been trying to work on it. So far, so good. You guys, I loved Better Than the Movies. I loved that book. I loved it so much. I thought that Wes was so cute and so sweet and giving golden retriever, but also being like a little cocky and annoying, and like it was great. It was so great. I loved it. And then I saw that there was this book, and I actually thought it was already out, but then I want to say I like pre-ordered this book. Did I pre-order this book? I can't remember, but then I saw that they finally had this book on Amazon, and I was so excited. And now I'm reading Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. It's meeting up with Wes and Liz a few months after they left for college, and then like you only get like a few pages of that immediate time after, and then Then it's about a year after that the rest of the book goes on. So again, like you can kind of see my bookmark. I haven't made it that far, but it's only because I've been a little bit busy. But I really, really cannot wait to see what happens. I'm already irritated with Wes, okay? Did not enjoy his decision, and I'm not spoiling anything because it's on the back of the book, but I did not enjoy his decision making in the very beginning. So we don't like him right now, but I'm sure that he will do what he needs to do to get Liz back. And so I've been working on this book, and I'm really, really, really enjoying it. I'm also, I have the library app Libby, and so I've been getting like the audiobooks from there and just listening to them as I go along. Right now, I know I downloaded 2 books, but I can't remember which books I downloaded. I think one of them is like Curvy Girls Can't Date Quarterbacks. I don't know. I found this entire series about like curvy girls can't date this, curvy girls can't date that, or like fat girls can't date this and fat girls can't date that. Like these types of guys. I don't know. I don't know what they're about. I've never even heard of them. Like nobody's ever talked about them that I know of, but they looked kind of interesting, so we'll see how that goes. I think that was one of the books. I can't remember. I don't know. Something like that. But I'm gonna keep, getting my little audiobooks and stuff like that, and also actually reading books, because that's a thing. And yeah, so I know this video is kind of long. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. But yeah, so comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.